In this lesson, we're going to build out across the top of the car. Alright, so let's select our car. Let's go to Edge Mode, and let's go to our top view. This is just going to be the easiest way of building this. Let's go ahead and select all of these edges that go right down this line. And let's hold Shift with our Move tool, and let's drag that across until that meets. Go ahead and hit Alt-X so you can see through that, and then let's go to Vertex Mode, and let's just pull those together till they match our lines. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to pull that one, let's pull that to here. I know there's a little point right there, but we'll take care of that in just a moment. Okay, I want this to all match up here. This is looking really good at this point. Want to try to get this line to the left side of that line there, because there's a little bit of a gap there. We're creating a seam on that. So we'll just leave it right there where it's at. Okay. Alright, very good. So we've got that. Got that shape started there. Let's go ahead and go to Edit and Swift Loop. Let's add a loop right here. And then go to Vertex Mode, and let's pull that across like that. Try to match the shape of the reference image. And let me pull that down to here. Okay. And then let me go to my left view. And I'm just checking my reference image. Show end result on that so we can see the smoothness of it. Now on this line right here, I need to make sure that these points are matching to these edges. Okay, like this. So we have to come in and let's grab this edge and this edge all the way down like that. And let's just go to our left view and pull that straight up in the Y. And that should get pretty close. You'll have to come in vertex by vertex and just match that up. Making sure that it's staying nice and smooth. And it looks like this one right here needs to come up, and this one as well. Now remember, we've already moved them over in the X, so don't get tempted by that. You got to remember which viewports you've moved your vertices in already, and then just move in one direction in another vertex or another viewport. Okay. So, all right, let's take this edge right here, and we'll go all the way down to here, and then in our left view, let's pull that up. Now, I don't see my line for this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull that straight up like this, and then let's see, let's take this down. Let's go to our top view here. This is supposed to be right about here. So in our left view, this needs to meet on our roof here. So let's pull this down, trying to keep the lines nice and smooth. And it'll kind of flare up a little bit as we go across the top because it does get a little bit higher across the middle. And then it'll start to taper down a little bit more until it flows right into that. Okay. Let's go to our top view really quickly. Following along with that line, it's looking good. This is the top of the windshield. Let's make sure that we have that set there. Yep, that looks great. Okay, so let's take a look at it in our perspective view really quickly and just make sure that there are no weird lines or any waviness or anything like that going on. It seems like we've got a little bit of waviness going on right here, but the problem is with that is that this is where the windshield changes shape a little bit on us. So we may have to actually bring that in. Looking at my top view, I'm just noticing something is a little bit off about that. I want to trust that shape, but I just don't feel like I've brought that down quite far enough. Okay, that's feeling much better there. Okay, just kind of tweaking these lines as I go along. Now notice that this set of vertices right here, this is very close to this set. What I want to do is I want to bring that across, kind of split this set of vertices in half. So let's move that along our edge with the edge constraint turned on. Let's just pull that right about the middle there. And you can come in and you can start to maybe make some quick adjustments to the size of your vertices, or the size of your polygons, just by pulling those around, redistributing that. All right, great. So it looks good. Happy with that so far. All right, so now, quick check really fast. Let's take a look at our front view. And I really just want to look at this shape right here on our pillar. Okay, I'm just looking at that, making sure that it's nice and flat. Take a look at your reference image. You can see that, you know, there might be a little bit of curve on that. We might need another segment to kind of help round that out. So if we go to our back view, hitting V and K, you can see that this line right here needs to come out just a little bit more, or maybe we just need another segment right here. So, you know, just kind of play with some of these, the shapes of these vertices a little bit. So let me go ahead and select those. And I don't want that point there. I'm going to leave that one right where it's at. Let's go to our back view. Let me pull that up a little bit. And pull that down. And I'm just starting to kind of play around with some of these shapes a little bit. Straightening up some of these lines, trying to get them to flow a little bit better into one another. And I pulled that down, but I really shouldn't have. Okay. So we've got that. It's kind of starting to get a little more round across the top. I'm happy with that so far. Looking at this point right here, I know we brought that down, but I'm really just not happy with the curvature of that. I just don't feel like that is the proper way of doing it, having it curve down and then go across. So to change this, I'm going to go to Target Weld, go from here to here, and then let's take this edge right here. In my left view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it down till it's straight with that. Let me pull this up here. And then I'm going to go to vertex mode and cut from this point up to there. And then I can just take this edge and hit backspace to remove it. And so I've quadrified that a little bit. And that's going to help to relax this area a little bit more. So I just want to make sure that we get the best shape possible, that everything is flowing the way that it should be. And we're getting a really nice shape out of this now. Okay. So I could sit here and I could tweak these vertices, and I would suggest that you do the same if you have any waviness or anything like that that you're just not happy with. I would go ahead and do that too, but I'm going to wait until maybe in between lessons to kind of do that. I'm not going to continue to bore you with that. Let's go ahead and go to our top view. Let's finish out the roof. So let's select our edges, and let's get the rest of this really quickly. So I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to drag this all the way out to the center, and then I'm going to make planar in the Z direction. That should straighten up that line. And then I'm going to type in 0 in my X direction, so that way it's perfectly in the center of my reference image. Then let's go to vertex mode. Let's take this vertex, pull that to the back there. And then we're going to take this one, pull that to the back, or to the front. Okay, at least meeting that reference image. Then let's go back to edge mode, hitting 2, and then in our left view, we're just going to pull that straight up until that matches our reference image. Now pull it up as high as you can until the topmost part meets, and then go vertex by vertex, pulling that up and making your adjustments. So pull that straight up into the air. You know, maybe make some quick movements just to kind of match the rest of the topology there with the rest of your hood there. But very minor tweaks in all of this. So that's looking good. Let me pull that down just a bit. That's okay. This one might need to come up just a little bit more. Pull that across a little bit more there. Okay. So there's our roof. Okay, let's add some more segments into that. So I'm going to select this edge, hold Shift, and select the next one. Let's use Connect. Let's use Connect in the settings. Let's pull that down, and let's add maybe 2 more segments in there. With these segments in, this will allow me to go to my front view. Let me lift that up so it kind of rounds out, touches the top of that reference image. And then all I have to do at this point is grab my vertices and, like my front view, pull those down until they meet our reference image, okay, giving us the look that we want. Do the same thing along the back, so hit V and K. So you want to pull that down just a bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. Okay, and everything should be matching pretty well there. Okay, so I'm really happy with the way this is turning out so far. Got our roof. Let's hit Alt-X so we can see how that's smoothing out. Looking good. All right, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and start building out the front of the car. So we've connected everything together with the roof. That looks great. I'm really happy with that. But now let's start to build out the front, getting the hood basically blocked in and getting that ready for all of that. So we'll get started with that next.